We all want to be productive, okay? But in this culture that we live in, we are obsessed with productivity to the point where if we feel any resistance on wanting to move forward, we start beating ourselves up and going, oh my God, we have to get going, we have to get going, we have to get going. And we admonish laziness. You guys, admonishing laziness is not the way to solve your laziness problem. In this episode of Coach Aidan, I'll tell you why you might be lazy and what you can do about it. First of all, please like, subscribe, and comment to this video. Okay, so laziness, especially here in the United States, actually all over the world, but especially in the United States, is considered a big no-no. Everybody is so afraid of being lazy. Never mind that people go work from 9 to 5, that's 8 hours a day, plus a 2-hour commute, that's 10 hours out of the 24 hours. And then they have to come home and take care of the children, and please the husband, and call the mother, and go grocery shopping, organize a PTA fundraiser, deal with the work emergency, and maintain six-pack abs. And then if you're not, reading or doing something to better yourself with the, 15 minutes you have left in your day, you're considered not focused enough on development to really change your life. And then we all beat ourselves up for it. It's ridiculous. The funny thing is, then we start beating ourselves up. I'm not focused enough on development, or I'm not doing as well with my kids as I should. And then we start feeling bad about ourselves. And actually, negative thoughts deplete our energy. So now we have even less energy with what little energy we actually already had. No wonder why people drink. I mean, geez. So whether one is just overworked or, hey, during COVID, maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe something might have happened that might destabilize you. Whatever the reason may be, you might be sitting there going, why am I not more motivated? Why am I not getting more done? What is wrong with me? I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong with you. Most of the time when people come to me as a client and they want to work on laziness, they're coming expecting me to somehow kick them into gear or rah them into action. Whenever that happens, I always say, listen, I am not a cheerleader for the NFL and you're not a football player. I'm not kicking anything today. You don't deserve to be kicked. I think one of the worst things that you can do when you're in a state of laziness is bulldoze yourself into action, which is actually a complaint I have about the empowerment field. A lot of times I feel that people mistake being empowered through awareness and moving forward with forced action when you don't want to take action and just pushing yourself into it. And people who give that kind of advice is generally, very accomplishment-oriented people like MBAs or doctorates who, are naturally that way. But everybody is different. So a one-size-fits-all answer of muscling through a tough time is not really something that works for everyone. And that has to be acknowledged. I will say some people can get motivated into action and get a little bit of action going, but without actually looking within to see what the resistance is, you're not going to be able to sustain that motivated action for very long. Anybody who makes a permanent change has to do the work to look within. So if you're feeling lazy or unmotivated, you really have to ask yourself this very important question. What part of me is resistant to making this particular change or taking this particular action, and why? You're asking yourself that question. I'm going to repeat one more time. What part of me is resistant to taking this action or making this change, and why? You might immediately go to the lazy part. Because I'm lazy, there's something wrong with me. 1000%, I'm telling you right now, it's not because you're lazy and there is nothing wrong with you. This is the point of the video where half of you are going to tune out because you're going to be like, well, there is something wrong with me and, Aidan just doesn't understand. I need a kick in the ass. Well, then you're just going to keep doing what you're doing. If you're on this video, you're already frustrated with that cycle. So try something new. Or, keep doing what you're doing. But I'm telling ya, we really do need to examine why we are in resistance to the action that which we say we want to take. Like with this one client I had, she is an Instagram model, a sexy one, right? And so she wanted like 1 million followers, but she couldn't really get herself motivated to keep releasing sexy photos. And she was like, Aidan, kick my ass into gear, please, because I want to be releasing sexy photos so that I can get 1 million followers. Instead of kicking her ass, I said, why don't you want to do this? What is the part of you that doesn't want to do this? First of all, she said, oh, because I'm lazy. That's not the answer. What is the part of you that is resistant to doing this? And you know what the answer was? She was like, you know, I recently broke up with my boyfriend, and ever since then, I just don't want to be sexy in front of a camera. You take a person who feels vulnerable because they just broke up with their boyfriend and doesn't want to be sexy in front of a camera, that is completely understandable, and then bulldoze that person into action? Is that the right thing to do? Absolutely not. She should not be doing something that she's uncomfortable with, you know? Especially when it comes to that. So I said to her, we're not going to do anything that you feel that uncomfortable with. Let's figure out why you're uncomfortable. What is it? And she said, I just don't want to be in front of a camera exposed right now. Great. So how can we honor that part of you that feels vulnerable in that regard and move forward with your goals? Is there a way to do that? She said, well, I have some stock photos that I already took that I could recycle for now. That is a solution that meets both parts of your needs. She can move forward with her career and not have to take this photo so that she can get stable. She doesn't have to bulldoze anything, and she comes up with a creative answer that honors both parts. That is how you get through laziness. Another person says she wants to be a singer, but she hasn't sung in 3 years. Why? What is the part of you that feels resistant to taking this action? Why? And why? The answer, after a little digging, came up that she felt nervous that she would be delusional if she were to pursue singing professionally. Which is funny because she had already pursued singing professionally to great success. Interesting. So we looked at her belief system around her being delusional and found that there was some trauma around people gaslighting her. Gaslighting is when somebody lies to you. It's like, you know, somebody says, oh, you might say, oh, the sky is blue. No, it's not. It's red. That's gaslighting. So if you have parental figures who gaslit you, you don't trust your own instincts. And when you don't trust your own instincts, you might be afraid of coming across delusional. Okay? So that is what that fear of being delusional is running her system, and she didn't know it. Once we identified that and kind of readjusted, she was able to start singing again without effort and without bulldozing that part of herself. That part is crying to be looked at. If you're in action, there's a part of you that is crying to be looked at, that wants to be honored. And the answer is going to be different for everybody. If you're resistant, you might be like, just tired. And your body might be like, please, I just need a break. Can I have a day off? That might be the resistance. Or it might be, you might not actually want to go get that business degree that you're pushing yourself to get, you know? Or you might not want to pursue that relationship that you feel like you should be in, that looks perfect on paper, but you feel nothing for. So the idea is, when you feel resistance moving forward, it's literally like you have an anchor and you're on a boat. So the anchor is at the bottom of the lake and it's snagged on something, keeping you from moving forward. The answer is not to push the pedal so hard that you burn out your engine. The answer is to go look, dive down, and figure out what the resistance is and free yourself from that resistance, okay? That way you can move forward happily and you're not snagged and forcing yourself into action. Because if you keep forcing yourself into action, you're gonna break, okay? So if you're lazy, please take some time to look within and figure out why you might be, because I guarantee you have a good reason for being lazy. There's a reason there there's some kind of belief system, something that is causing this inaction. And it's a reasonable one. So take a look, okay? So thank you for watching. So more on this topic, you guys, check out my video on emotional momentum and imposter syndrome that has something to do with this. And also why your negative emotions can be useful for you and why it's a good thing, okay? Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day.